If the name doesn't ring a bell, let me refresh your memory. Italy is famous for its pizza, Venice, Rome, and also for being situated right on top of a seismic time bomb. And no, this isn't some dramatic headline, but a serious warning from scientists about the dormant Campi Flegrei volcano. The last thing anyone wants is for this beast to wake up anytime soon. So how can we keep an eye on the potential eruption? One word: monitor. Thanks to modern technology, experts are now able to monitor volcanoes, predict their eruptions and better prepare nearby residents. But as it turns out, monitoring the familiar types of volcanoes may be much easier said than done. Why? Because scientists have recently discovered a whole new type of volcano that might turn our current monitoring methods on their head. This discovery was made in the Arctic Ocean back in 2017 when researchers found an underwater mountain in the southeastern Greenland Sea. It was later named Seje Kiern, which translates to Sleepy Mountain. But don't let the name fool you. This mountain is quite unique and poses a much greater threat to Europe than you would think. So here's why. The main reason scientists were so surprised by the discovery of Seje Kiern is that they had no idea there could be such a large volcano in the middle of the ocean and even less of an idea that there could be several of them. Since then, researchers have identified at least 6 Arctic seafloor volcanoes just off the coast of Svalbard, Norway. And while the chances of them erupting all at once are slim, the possibility of one of them blowing up is much more significant. Here's what we know so far. So how do underwater volcanoes form anyway? Well, it's pretty similar to how they do on land. When magma, aka molten rock, rises from deep inside the earth and is forced through weak spots in the crust, a volcano is born. In the case of Seje Kiern, magma pushed up from deep within the planet through the thin oceanic crust, piling up and creating the mountain. However, unlike your typical volcano, it lacks a central vent or opening through which the magma can escape. Instead, this type of volcano is characterized by massive flank vents. What does that mean? Simply put, this means that the magma spills out of side openings along the flanks of the mountain instead of through a single opening at the top. Scientists believe that these flank vents are created when magma intrudes into weak areas of the crust, creating cracks. As pressure builds up within the magma chamber, the pressure eventually exceeds the strength of the crust, causing the cracks to burst open and spew forth lava. This process results in the formation of extensive lava fields rather than a steep-sided cone. So the lack of a central vent makes these volcanoes much more dangerous because the magma has nowhere to go. Instead, it spills over the surrounding land, covering a much larger area. In the case of Seje Kiern, the volcano spans an impressive 89 square miles, making it even bigger than some of the most famous volcanoes in the world. The mountain itself is a whopping 4,600 feet high and 4,000 feet wide, with its peak lying just 328 feet below the ocean's surface. While it may seem like an unlikely candidate for eruption, don't be fooled by its seemingly docile nature. Scientists estimate that it erupted sometime between 5,000 and 10,000 years ago, with the possibility of an eruption happening again within the next 200 years. The chances might be small, but they are still there. So why should you care about a volcano that's not exactly on your doorstep? Well, because it's closer than you think. The closest big cities are Longyearbyen in Svalbard, Norway, and the Danish island of Bornholm. They sit just 311 miles away from the volcano. On a clear day, you can see both of them from the peak of Seje Kiern. So if there's a volcanic eruption, local authorities will have little time to warn people and implement emergency plans. But it's not just the location that makes this volcano so worrisome. Its eruption style is another major concern. Unlike traditional volcanoes which emit lava that flows slowly and predictably, Seje Kiern's eruptions are explosive and highly unpredictable. When magma gets trapped beneath the seafloor, pressure can build up until the surrounding rocks break apart in a massive eruption. This sudden release of energy can generate pyroclastic flows that travel at high speeds, incinerating everything in their path. If you want to learn more about pyroclastic flows, check out our recent video where we take a deep dive into this phenomenon. Now let's get back to Seje Kiern. Aside from the direct devastation caused by the eruption, the collapse of the volcano's flanks could trigger a series of dangerous events. Submarine landslides and tsunamis are just some of the potential consequences. The impact of such a disaster on nearby coastal communities would be catastrophic. To make matters worse, the remoteness of the volcano makes it difficult to monitor and study. Traditional methods rely on detecting seismic activity, gas emissions, and changes in the shape of the mountain. But these signs can go unnoticed in the vastness of the Arctic Ocean. This is why the discovery of Seje Kiern has been such a game changer for scientists. Now, you're probably wondering, if it's so hard to monitor, how do we even know it's a volcano? Well, the answer lies in the clues hidden within the seafloor. Sediments hold a wealth of information about past events and eruptions. By studying the layers of sediment, scientists can piece together the history of volcanic activity in the region. This technique, known as marine sediment analysis, has revealed a wealth of information about Seje Kier's past eruptions and helps scientists better understand the risk it poses today. For instance, scientists know that the volcano is capable of producing thick ash deposits. During its previous eruption, ash traveled up to 621 miles away, blanketing large areas in a layer of fine material. This information is crucial for predicting the potential impact of future eruptions. Now that we know what to look out for, scientists can more accurately assess the risks posed by the volcano. However, the challenge doesn't end there. The Arctic environment presents unique obstacles for exploration. The freezing temperatures, thick sea ice, and limited access make it difficult to collect data. Researchers have had to develop innovative solutions to overcome these challenges. For example, one team of scientists used a remotely operated vehicle to explore the seafloor around the volcano. Equipped with cameras and other instruments, the vehicle was able to capture images and data that would otherwise be impossible to obtain in such a harsh environment. Another team used a specialized ship equipped with sonar systems to map the seafloor around the volcano. This detailed map revealed the presence of vast lava fields and other features that provide insights into the volcano's history and behavior. Despite these advancements, there's still much that we don't know about Seje Kiern and other seafloor volcanoes. The remote location and challenging environment make it difficult to gather enough data to accurately predict the likelihood and potential impact of future eruptions. That's why scientists continue to explore new technologies and approaches to monitor these volcanoes more effectively. And who knows what discoveries await us in the depths of the Arctic Ocean. The study of seafloor volcanoes is not only important for understanding the history of our planet, but also for protecting the people who live nearby. These volcanoes can cause major disasters, but by learning more about them, we can develop better ways to predict and prepare for future eruptions. Maybe one day we'll even find a way to stop them altogether. And hey, who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to make that discovery. Who am I talking to? If you have any budding scientists in your life, consider signing them up for Brilliant.org to help them learn STEM concepts through fun interactive lessons. My favorite thing about Brilliant is that it makes learning easy and fun. Their courses range from beginner to advanced levels, allowing learners of all ages and backgrounds to explore topics they're interested in. They have a course called Pre-Algebra, which is perfect for kids aged 10 to 14. It covers fundamental math concepts like variables, equations, and inequalities in a way that's easy to understand. I love that Brilliant breaks down complex topics into bite-sized lessons that are easy to digest, and they use fun interactive exercises to keep learners engaged. Whether your child wants to pursue a career in STEM or just wants to expand their knowledge, Brilliant has something for everyone. Happy erupting!